Yes, yes, y'all. And you don't stop. We out here again, y'all. We out here again. We doing what we gotta do. Doing what we gotta do to get to where we got to be. And guess what? Many of y'all see exactly what that means to me. I gotta thank y'all. I gotta thank y'all. I gotta thank you. 2,108 subscribers. I had to add the 8. I want to acknowledge the 8. You know what 8 is, right? Turn the 8 sideways. That's infinity. That's forever, baby. We official. Do you understand how official that is to me? I mean, I'm a little bit into numerology, a little bit. I gotta consult my master on it, the master of it all when it comes to numerology. Shout out to my cousin, Revels Bay. You okay? Yeah. And if you want to know who I'm talking about and check into some of that knowledge, he is listed. Okay, you check into the playlist, and I have a folder, a special folder. I think I call it metaphysics, something metaphysical. I honestly, I got so many daggone playlists. I be forgetting the names I use for some of them, unless it's the names of the, the direct shows and everything, like Bustin' Pixels, our gaming content, or ONYXCON Outdoors Worldwide, or the ONYXCON Travel Club, or any of the separate folders for places I've been, like República Dominicana, you know what I'm saying? Did a whole folder for that trip. I think I got one for Malaysia, maybe. Mexico, you know what I'm saying? Yucatan, shout out. So I'm saying we do a lot of stuff here, right? A lot of stuff. You want to look at the fishing content? That's over in the ONYXCON Outdoors joint. ONYXCON Style, hello, you see it. You see it. You see that new Shamar, okay? But go under the numerology one, which would be metaphysics. It's under metaphysics. Metaphysical something or metaphysics something, I called it. And yeah, you'll see my cousin. That's family for real. On my dad's side. Cousin Revels Bay. Yes, yes indeed. I'm trying to remember the exact name of his channel and everything. Yeah, man. I need more people who understand exactly Yeah. Like every single thing that's popular has that, you could say it's violence and all, and it is. I mean, it portrays violence. It's based on violent situations and conflicts. Call of freaking Duty is like the #1 game in the world or something, and it's all military. It's all shooter. It's a shooter game. It's a simulation of actual combat from a military standpoint, even though it adds in so much fantasy. You got zombies, you got all this other stuff going on, things that weapons cannot do, will never do, hopefully. Magic and all kind of stuff. It's cool. It's sci-fi. It's fantasy. That's why people like it. It's in the comfort of your home that you can be a badass and you're not taking the scrapes and bumps and bruises, broken legs, get shot, wake back up. That won't happen. You dead in real life. That you can do in the game. You get to play this safe fantasy. That's all any of them are. All these games. I mean, my favorite, Cyberpunk. Oh my gosh. You don't have to get out there and shoot them up. You can play in a way to avoid violence, but the environment is so naturally violent, and you get caught in crossfire even if you're not trying to shoot, or you'll have an argument with somebody or almost get into something because people are so rude and just disgusting, and it's very reflective of modern society in some ways, how things are. Everybody trying to, that's why I tell you all the time, ratchet is not a culture. It's the downfall of culture. It's the missing, it's the omission of actual culture and systems of honor and tradition, and it's totally not what it ought to, but y'all, so many young folk just falling more into just trying to validate being ratchet, like it's a real way to be, and just accept me being an asshole. No, it's not. Bad behavior is never going to be an established culture. It's always going to be the downfall of any established culture. But you see people gravitate towards all these violent things because they like to live out their fantasies of what they wish they could do in reality. And that's all of us on different levels. But then some people go into a very twisted perspectives on it. So I find it fascinating, and I think it's responsible to not ignore, as far as the gun part of it, or blades, or any type of weapon of it, that people feel the need, have always felt the need since ancient times, to feel protected and feel like they can protect themselves, protect their families, and things of that nature, protect their country, their kingdom, their whatever. And then you have also the other stuff that goes with it. That's like I say, get into there's just a natural, we will not be bullied by those who want to be bullies. And then there's people who are just straight up, the bullies and the problems, and a lot of, and that's an archetype, not a place, not a whole country. That's why I don't like political conflicts and stuff, because it casts this veil over everybody in the whole country of, oh, those are the enemies and those are the bad. I don't go with that BS. No, there's good people everywhere. There's decent, honest, functional is the best word. I always say functional over dysfunction. That's my word. Not because good and bad is objective, depending on how you were raised and what you believe in and everything like that. It's good, it's not bad. I'm looking at your actions. I'm looking at the results of your actions, of your decisions and your actions. And I'm saying there's plenty of functional people in every place on this planet that have nothing to do with the imperialization, colonizations, and everything else of their quote-unquote leaderships. Just like here, to be American right now with the mess that's going on. I'm not going to get all off into it because I don't want to get mad and frustrated and talking about that, because I like to keep it fun as much as I can, but I'm not going to dance around and not speak of the time we're in when I'm talking about topics like what I'm talking about. It's atrocious what's going on right now, how it makes being American look. Like this really does affect us as a traveler. There's places I won't even go in the world right now, or may never see in my lifetime, because so much has been done that when I get there, I don't know how I'm going to be treated, and I don't want to be disrespected or risk my life just because if I say, hey, I'm American, oh shit, and everybody want to take your head off because, they don't know, people, there's been a lot of pain, man. And there's a lot of folk who participated in why that pain exists and are not responsible. But then innocent folk who have nothing to do with that just want to move and see the world, can be caught up in all of that conflict. So, yeah. So all of this is part of how I'm going to be approaching dealing with that. And you won't see, I won't say how much or not you won't see, because as I delve into it, I'm not the guy who, let me see how I want to say this, because I ain't about to give y'all all my damn business. It ain't yours to have, but I don't mind sharing enough for you to have a sense of who your host is, right? So like, I grew up hunting and fishing, so guns are nothing strange to me. I have nothing against a gun itself. I actually look at guns like they're just another work of art in and of themselves as objects. But because of, I did a question one time with ChatGPT to make my point. And I love using chat for these types of questions. I don't use it for everything, because you got to be careful with that thing. That AI can be very, if it's not something that's, if the topic is so vague that it even confuses the AI, like it got to search really hard to find you an answer, it's probably going to be off. And whatever it does find might not be accurate. And I've tested that. And I've tested it with things that I know the absolute ins and outs of. Like, I'll never forget when I first started with it, that's when I said, okay, this can be a powerful tool. I asked it straight, I said, what is ONYXCON? And what is the history of it? And who is the founder and president of it? And now, of course, it already had my name, so it said, you are the president. I said, goddamn. Because I had my email when I started the account. Of course, it's going to say, oh, you're ONYXCON@gmail.com. I know who this is. It's you. But it said, it broke down some stuff. And when I tell you, it gave a history that was so accurate, but then it had one thing off, as it will. And I corrected that. But it wasn't something that was like slanderous or so off that it would just really, be completely false information to get out to any other ear. It just wasn't the whole story of, it was like you had a piece of it. You tried, you went there, you almost had it. But let me help you get a little bit more. And that's what I did. And it was like, oh, thank you. I was like, yeah, add that to your data. So when you tell the next person who asks, they'll get the real answer, not the half-ass answer, the full answer. So it can be powerful. And I asked it the question, like I say, I'm just giving all that to say this. I was talking about, I wanted to test it to see, I said, what is the most fatal form of human-created weaponry in the history of human existence on this planet? Do you know what it is? It's pretty easy. The most, out of all the, I'm talking about the cannons, the nuclear weapons, the chemical, the biological weapons, out of all of that stuff, the most lethal weapon that humans have ever created is the gun. Handguns, rifles, anything that one person or a couple of people can hold, direct its target and fire, just make it that literal, it is the most lethal of all human existence of things that ever were created as humans as weapons. And then it went into, and then it gave a breakdown of, like, in ancient times, of course, swords, spears, axes, everything, all these other types of weaponry. But it literally said the most lethal in human history is the gun. So this is why, as somebody who is a novice, I don't want to give the impression I'm a total novice, because I'm far from that. I'm a lifetime leveled up novice. Like, if there were levels like belts in martial arts, and if there were levels to being a novice, and then at the end of it you become, a black belt, and then that'd be the, like, you John Wick. I'm not John Wick, but I'm probably in the highest levels of novice you can be. Meaning, there's not much someone could hand to me, and even if I don't even know what this weapon is, I don't know the basics of how to eject the cartridge. I know the basics of how to load it. I know the basics of all safety, and you never point the muzzle. Your finger's always off the trigger until it's time to fire. All the basics. There's sounds simple as hell. Sounds like it should be, well, yeah, anybody know, because a lot of people love to, well, oh yeah, anybody, well, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. Then you hand them something and you see a fool be a fool. You be like, oh my gosh. You know, you see it I see it all the time when I look at videos where you got folks who can name 200 times more weapons than I could, but their handling of them is like a damn 5-year-old. And I hate to say a lot of times they are young folk who just trying to be flamboyant for the camera and think that's funny and cute for content. It's not. And it's what makes you look like the problem that everybody's afraid of when they hear the word gun or think of gun culture and stuff. Because they're thinking of people who are loose cannons out here, who don't have any code of ethics about how they handle these things, who don't have any training for real. They just got them and their boys, their friends, whoever and all those people are half-assed about how they handle it. And they be the ones that you'll hear about, like somebody shot somebody's head off, or shot their ear off, or shot themselves in the leg because of how they did it, or they been playing around with something that they know has a broken safety and doing. I'm just the goofiest stuff, right? So when it comes to that whole world of that, and knowing that that is such a big part of the world that I am a part of with science fiction and fantasy and all, like I say, there's the fantasy of it, and then there's the reality of it. I personally think everybody who is such a fan of Call of Duty and stuff, like, I'm not military. I'm not a part of any military branch or anything. I got plenty of military friends and family and stuff. And I respect their code and their way for the ones that I know have the same ethics about it, all of that, and handling things as I do. My problem is when I see people be reckless with weaponry and stuff, I'm like, man, this is the problem. Like, stuff is getting more and more where, a lot of the gun manufacturers are making stuff that look like toys almost. That's scary to me. Then you got the actual toys looking more like actual guns. I'm just like, I'm not going to pretend I don't see what I'm seeing happen. Like, that's not, to a certain level, that's not cool. There should be a line of understanding where this is not a toy. This is an extremely dangerous thing. This is the most lethal type of weapon in human history. Out of anything else you can think of, nothing more lethal. When you really put that in perspective, that's nothing to play with. And the energy of it and the culture of it and everything, I think there should be hard boundaries and lines. Like I'm an advocate for folks having, licenses and everything like that. Hell, I have doesn't even matter no more. I got a Georgia license for carry and everything, right? But it doesn't even matter anymore because they changed the law to where now, and they're always changing them, okay, to something else after they changed the main one, but they changed it where you don't even have to have a license to carry. Oh, gosh, have mercy. Wild, wild South. And I see these scary ass people, I consider it scary behavior, walking around with their side piece in vision, in a store. I mean, I take that back. I'm not going to say they're all scary or that it's not a good thing if you want to be that way. I just think to me, it's kind of like, okay, if you go in a store, there's 200 people in the store. And it's a store that allows you to come in with a weapon. Because that's the other thing. Some places, it don't matter that you can carry open. You still can't come in here because we don't have weapons, period. That's the law of this particular place. And I'm saying a lot of those people who like to carry their stuff right out in the open on their side, they feel like they ought to be able to do that everywhere. So there's the nutties, the cowboy-minded mofos that get on my nerves because they're like, dude, there's people who have legit PTSD who just by the sight of you walking by them with that out might go into action. Like, why would you want to make yourself a target, or just because you want to show that, well, I know I'm ready for anything that happens. That's all I'm trying to show. Well, guess what? There's some other people who are just as ready as you, and they ain't showing theirs. And they're not trying to ever have to. And it doesn't make them feel comfortable, or it's just too much. It's almost like, to me, like wearing a gun out like that is like, it's like wearing a t-shirt that says what your political views are. You got a right to do it, but like, why do you want to bring the fight to you? Why do you want to provoke a fight? Knowing that there's a chance somebody's not going to agree with what you got on, and have some issue and want to step to you about it and give you some drama and make your day a living nightmare. Because things change real quick and get ugly in the worst of ways. It's like, why would you want that? Like, you got a right to wear it. You got a right. And that stuff, let me tell you, there's a part of me that wants to do whatever I want to do on that level sometimes. But I'm smarter than to put myself in those positions. Like, every time there's something going on with the politics, I remember when last time I went to the house in the park, I saw some hats. They were cool as hell. I loved them hats. The hats were really cool. Somebody at one of the vendors had some Kamala hats that had her name and had, they had some other language on it or something, just something celebratory of, like, even though you're not our president, we wish you had been kind of energy message. I was like, okay, yeah, I dig that. Because I'm for that, I voted for her. I liked her platform, and I damn sure know a lot of people wish they had voted for her now with what we got going on, right? But for the nutties that would hear me even say that, and they get all, they head about to pop off, the blood rushing through their eyeballs, fine. I hope you have a heart attack, you silly sass. No, seriously though. No, for real though, like these people that have that kind of negative energy to that level, what are we doing here? This can't be the only. I'm waiting on an order, and the guy is walking like he might be coming to me. No, he's not coming to me. I was about to say, because if that's my order, ain't no way in the world for what I'm supposed to be having. That's supposed to be a whole lot more stuff. That wasn't mine. I'm still waiting. Man, they got to come on with it, though. They are slow as hell. Ain't even no cars out here. They ain't got no excuse, y'all. They ain't got no excuse. Anyway, let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. So, like I say, I love the hat. A part of me almost wanted to buy one for a family member. Then I said, no. Don't put that on nobody, because what's cute to you and them, and we understand how we feel about it, it's too charged. We've seen that people who don't respect the power of a weapon, who don't respect laws, who are with regimes that want to topple and destroy democracy, will be celebrated by those regimes if they act out and literally kill people, okay? Took over the nation's capital and killed actual political figures and police officers and guards and things. And to this day, some of the people were relieved of their jail time. So we see who's in charge of things. We know how crazy things are right now. Why put yourself in a position where, like, hey, like I'm speaking on it on here. And even that, trust me, every time I mention this type of stuff, there's a part of me say, man, why do I even want to talk about all this stuff, man? Because the nutties, somebody could recognize me when I'm walking around and be like, hey, you're that guy who has a channel. You're like, well, yeah, and? And? Like, no. But then honestly, it is my power at that point, because it's like, I didn't give you any signal. If you know me, you know. If you know of me, you don't know me, shit. If you know of me, you know of me, fine. Anybody who's a threat to me in reality, anything that's a threat to me in reality, that's handled in reality. Versus, I'm in reality and I'm starting off my day like, I'm coming out here and I'm telling all these motherfuckers I'm with this and I'm with that and I don't care who care. It's messed up that the world is like this. It's not cool that you ought to be aware of whatever the hell. I see other people wear the mess that I don't agree with. I've seen people wearing the little goofy red hat with the stupid slogan. I've seen them walk. I've had situations where somebody was about to be, I've had a couple of them up in my ear as subscribers. And I know what it is as soon as I did some gun content. And that's why I did that post. I did that post in my shorts that said, just because I post something about gun culture, don't get it twisted. We are not with no MAGA-isms. We are not with no damn racism. We are not with no sexism and all this other mess y'all be on typically. Just because y'all see a gun and some of y'all, man, y'all just, oh, you just one of us, that boy all right with me. First of all, you said, I don't know who's the boy, because I'm 50 years old and I've been grown a long time. Ain't no boys over here. Number two, goddamn, don't go assuming, like, being an outdoorsman, being a fisherman. They've literally created that bullshit archetype that they the only ones that fish and hunt and everything else. And it shits on people who are white, non-black, even black, whatever your construct, the races, right? No matter what you are, man, there's people who do all these things that ain't got nothing to do with some of this stuff. And then there's people who do stuff that has everything to do with some stuff. Like, you can't pigeonhole people. You can't pigeonhole people. And people love to do it. People love to think, well, we got that in common, so that means you must be just like me on everything else I think. No. Not at all, goddammit. Not at all. Not at all. You know, you get into the sneaker thing. People assume, oh, well, you just gotta love retro Jordans. I like some, but I'm not addicted to retro Jordans. I grew up when Jordans first started. And I love a lot of Jordan shoes, but I've never owned, officially, I've never bought a pair of Jordans. I've owned a pair. I was given a pair. You know what I'm saying? I got a real fresh hand-me-down of Jordans one time. Thanks, Dad. This always makes me laugh when I think about it, because I'm in the generation where we created Jordan culture. Dad is way on a whole nother time, but he just wanted some and got these things, and I didn't even know he was gonna get. I was like, how the hell you went? I think I was in college. I can't remember. Maybe I was a senior in high school. I can't remember. I was like, how you gonna have a pair of Jordans before I do? And this is my era. Like, you wearing my stuff. But like, you know, it was a playful joke we make about that. But on a serious tip, you got some fans out here who get so crazy. As soon as you say you don't like or not as much a fan of a certain style of shoe, oh, they just threw. You know, they worry about to follow your channel. They might unfollow you just because well, goodbye. I say all the time, I don't want nobody who's an extremist of any kind. That means you're a consumer extremist, like you're so whatever about some product that you lose your mind if someone says a difference of opinion on a movie or show or whatever. Like, I playfully do that with people I know. Oh, I'll act a straight fool with my friends, but man, you ain't seen that, you ain't alive, you know, all of those shit. But I don't give a damn about nobody I don't know. Y'all don't know me. So if you don't know the show, who cares if you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know me, who cares if I don't like your show? Who cares if I don't like your movie? Who cares if I don't collect the shoes you collect? Who cares if I don't even have the money that you may have to waste on the things you waste on? Or maybe you got it and it's not wasted. But however you choose to spend yours, I'm speaking my piece, you speaking yours. If you own my damn channel, it's going to be the way I do things. You know? If you like to shoot and I like to shoot too, and you assume that everybody who's holding a gun ought to be saying the same lingo and be about the same politics, guess what? That has never been true, and it ain't about to be true. Not at all. Not at all. So, you know, it's yeah. It's just it's, you know, I'll just say that with the gun culture thing of it all, it's a little more testy, because when you know that people are into the cultures, I'm gonna start saying that too, gun cultures. Just like I say, not for the culture, but for the cultures. I'm gonna start making mine plural, just like I do when I say that, because there is no one gun culture. There's not no one way about it. If there were, you know, I see the folks with the channel, I see the young cats out here that got the channel, and they around here with the pants sag and all this other stuff and looking crazy and thugged out and all that. I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? My relationship with guns is not gang oriented. It's not street oriented. It's literally from country type stuff. And growing up, the first time I ever held a gun and shot a gun was a .22 rifle that my dad has. And we were hunting. And well, first we just went target practice in a field in South Georgia on some family land. And I never forget the feeling of busting them bottles and really feeling like, wow, I hit the target. And that was it. I was hooked from there on. I loved it. You know, and yeah, you know what I mean? And then you get used to the weapon, and you used to the weight of it, you're used to the recoil of it, you're used to all these different things about it, and it just becomes like a second nature thing. That's one other thing you add to your skills list. But when you get older, you realize how much this goes with so many other things. And then I remember in middle school is when I was in elementary school when I first shot that gun. When I'm in middle school and I realized what all that gang culture was and where all that was more well established and how bad it was in other places, not like it was in Atlanta back in the day. There was barely anything. It was a little bit, yeah, definitely. We always had issues. I'm gonna say always. No, that's not true. The establishment of black urban gangs in Atlanta would have been, I would say, you could maybe stretch it back to the 40s, just like everything in America can kind of go back to the 40s, but I would really say the 50s, you know? in terms of it beginning to look like the beginnings of what people think of now when they think of urban gang. Because that's the other thing. There's been different types. You had the cowboy era. You had the township era of criminal element. All that had gang type. You know, Wild Wild West, there's such and such gang. You were Billy so and so's gang. You know, that was a different time, a different energy. Same kind of type of energy, somewhat. It's a similar archetype, but the energy was different. It wasn't until about I'd say the 60s, especially from what I was told by my dad about how things were in Atlanta, what he witnessed of fools acting out and getting crazy. And that was when he was in high school. So, you know, this stuff, it takes generations to get where it is. But the problem is when it does get where it gets, it's so much mess that gets automatically put on you in a society where we commercialize everything. We commercialize your trauma. And that's what they did with our trauma in my generation. They said, okay, through this hip hop thing, through this music, since it's trying to save people and make it about a party and get away from the gangs and turn the gangs into breakdancing crews and graffiti crews and all this other stuff that could be really positive because it's art. Oh, no, we can't have that. We got to keep this prison industrial complex going when we introduce crack cocaine. And the rest is history. Documented. Well documented in multiple songs and multiple interviews and multiple everything. It's not hidden. I remember when all this stuff that I'm saying used to be taboo. You say that stuff, but like, oh man, I don't know if you can be saying that, man. Them people might try to come get you. Man, it's there now. You can ask ChatGPT. It's gonna tell you everything I just said times 20. It's gonna tell you everything I just said times 20 for real. I gotta get this order though. I might have to walk around and get my legs stretched because I'm not gonna just sit here not getting no exercise, not doing nothing, wanting to be doing something and ain't nothing to do. All right, y'all. There it is, okay. See my time start moving so I know I'm really talking to y'all. So they say it's coming up. So I'm just gonna be patient. I'll be patient and get to the work. But yeah, y'all, I think I've said enough about that other topic. I don't have to go much further. I just say, like I say, I will be doing a little bit more of that content as I explore that and get back into the realms of it, so to speak, because it's never foreign to me. It's just in terms of actual application of marksmanship and skill, I haven't been regularly practicing, so to speak, for a minute. But I decided I want to get back in that and get sharpshooting again. So yeah, and I'm gonna be sharing that part of the journey with y'all. You know, it's just another one of those skills to develop, keep sharp, and do. You know, especially in this place, or the way America is, because you know, I think about the fact, you know, me being somebody who has an affinity towards the expat life and wanting to live abroad. There's plenty of places abroad you cannot own a gun as a citizen. That's only for the military and only for police officials and all that kind of stuff. Which, you know, we know how that can get messy with corruption and abuse of that power. And that's one of the number one reasons why a lot of gun advocates in America feel like they would never want to live anywhere else because they want to have their right to own and collect guns and all that and everything. Now, from a collecting standpoint and from a recreational shooting standpoint and a hunting standpoint and all that, I get it. And and of course, a home protection and just family protection, self-protection, and whatever. But when you get into living abroad, and I've never done that, but I would imagine from what my experiences in travel have been, yeah, it is unnerving when you're somewhere. I mean, I had a direct experience where I always think about that. I'd always say, man, that was a life-changing trip, that trip to República Dominicana. When I went out there, and hold on, I don't know if he about to bring me my order right now. Maybe. Let's see. What's up, guy? Not yet, not yet. But it's coming. Anyway, when I went out there, I had that experience and I got it on film. I mean, I didn't get the moment on film, but I got my expression of how frustrated I was when this happened. But I had a Airbnb, and the security for the Airbnb was this crazy local yokel country dude in Samana in Las Terrenas, which, let me say, I always like to say before I start talking about this, Las Terrenas is beautiful, and Samana as a whole is absolutely gorgeous. And in my experience, not having by any means seen most of that country because it's so big, it's the second largest Caribbean island, you know, with Haiti and Dominican Republic. But yeah, like, I had a chance to see Samana and loved it. And I'll never forget realizing that when you are in a place like that and you're away from home and you don't have any right to carry a weapon or anything like that, you just out there. You just literally out there on your wits. Hey, whatever you can do with your physical, and even having like a blade on you is illegal in most of those places. So, I mean, you can do it. You know, people gonna do what they gotta do to feel protected. But I'm saying you generally are out there just naked. It's just you. But the only people who got guns and stuff are all these security folks who be randoms, as I realize, who are not responsible weapons holders. All of them, not all of them. Some of them are, and some are. And I had a double experience. I had one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. Hold on. It's a little cooler than I thought it was out here. It's a little bit. It's one of them days, let's say you feel like you're standing inside of a freezer. So you don't notice it at first, but the more you stand out in it, you start feeling like it's legit cold out this month. But as I was saying, in Dominican Republic, I had an experience where some cops helped me out. I was gonna say that's one of my best experiences ever dealing with law enforcement and whatever. And I've had other good, I'm not gonna say I've never had a cop be decent and just treat me like a human being, a fellow human being, instead of some robotic, you know, it's us versus you, all you citizens are guilty until proven innocent kind of energy. Like, you know, I have had that too. But I was literally lost in the city. I'm coming back to my Samana story. You'll see, and if you want to watch all this, like I tell y'all all the time, watch some long content. My ONYXCON, just put in ONYXCON Dominican Republic, and you're gonna see you're gonna see shorts come up, of course, because they're always pumping shorts. Watch them too, but don't just watch the shorts. Watch the long videos, and especially watch the one that said, I think I said, from a nightmare to tropical paradise, and I explained how I had this horrible thing happen, but then I found this beautiful place because of it. Literally because of that bad situation. I took them lemons and turned them into lemonade. But like I said, my first experience that was a good one with some cops. It was all these young brothers that came to my rescue when I was lost. I'm out there, I don't know where the hell I'm really at, but I'm trying to get my GPS to work, and it was not working. The signal, this was that was a big wake up call. Like, man, when you are traveling, we rely on these devices. We be thinking this technology is just gonna always work. And I was paying, like I always do when I'm traveling, for a pass, international pass that allows you to keep your signal and your Wi-Fi, even when you're abroad. But if you're in an area, just like in America, if you go in an area where it goes out, it goes out. So, and then because I'm in the city, I'm thinking all of this, but this is the capital, it's supposed to all work, right? That mess went out. And I'm just like, I'll be damned. Where the hell am I, right? Like, I kind of know where I'm at, so I wasn't going to just, I mean, I would have eventually made it back to my hotel if I just kept walking a certain direction. But I don't know what I got to pass through, what neighborhoods, what, you know, so I was like, oh, shit, right? And I had already been, I was going to say harassed, not really harassed, just tried to get finessed by this Haitian dude that came up trying to get money out of me, walking with me in mess. And I eventually shook him off me and just gave him a couple of dollars, like, dude, just leave me alone, all right? Like, I've been more than nice to let you try to play me this far, knowing it was a game from the minute you walked up. But, you know, I'm by myself, traveling abroad. I don't know how many you got with you. I don't know what this might turn into, so I was just trying to give him benefit of the doubt, and he turned out to be as shitty as I expected. And I let that, like, all of this is in the stories. Like I said, you gotta watch the content, y'all. It's all out there if you want to see it in action. Like, in that one, I actually have it on film. I have him on film walking with me and stuff. And I explain what happened. But anyway. So with the cops, it was some guys, they were motorcycle cops. They gave me a ride to an ATM and gave me directions. And it literally changed my whole day. Turned a bad situation into a good situation. Same thing happened again in terms of bad to good, where I was talking about, you know, having weaponry versus not having nothing. I'm in Samana. Okay, Samana is the state, and the whole area, and then within it, you got this little city, this little town called Las Terrenas, which is beautiful. And I had this Airbnb. That was a nice Airbnb, but like I say, the security guy was an asshole, because I'm coming back, not even really late, just after nightfall from a restaurant, after exploring. That's the other thing. No problem from nobody trying to mug me, no evil eyes, no, even the dog. I always laugh. I see people's videos from other countries and they say, what's up with these dogs? There's always loose dogs in quote unquote third world countries. I don't like that phrase, but I'm just saying it for all these places people be calling that. And that's third world mentalities. There ain't no third world countries. It's just people who dealing with bad situations and people who got money in them paradise, and you see the mansions too. So don't give me that third world garbage. Or I see nicer malls there than you'll ever see here. I see some nicer skyscrapers and stuff. You be like, damn, who designed that? What is that? Like, you better wake up, man. We ain't the only ones who got fancy shit. Matter of fact, some of the fanciest stuff in the world is everywhere else. But anyway, whole other topic. But I'm out there, and like, I'm coming back home. I get to this place. They had a gate, and I'm trying to get my keys out because it's a dark little alley that you go to off of the main street. And this dude, I see him coming up on me in the dark. And at first, I couldn't see his little bullshit uniform. He got like a little shirt that has his badge on and all this mess. And it wouldn't have mattered because people in America will wear stuff like that to seem official and still be some gangsters trying to get you. See, that's me. So, you know, he ends up coming up to me after I done got in the gate. I'm already in the gate, and he's yelling through the gate in Spanish like I'm supposed to understand him. I'm like, dude, I don't even speak Spanish like that. I'll just say, oh yeah, because he's yelling. I can tell he's like mad. I said, oh yeah, like what the fuck? Like what you, No, I'm on vacation. You're not going to disrespect me, even on vacation. Yeah, I'm from another place. But I'm just supposed to just lay down and let you just walk all up? Nah, nope. So he understood that I meant business, and I'm standing at the gate and I'm trying to talk in my little bit of Spanish, telling him I'm here as an Airbnb guest. And as soon as I kept saying Airbnb and jingling, oh yeah. Oh man, they done rewound the clock, y'all. They done rewound the clock on, brother. It's like I'm starting all over on the same mess. I had this order. Let me tell y'all, this is for my courier people. This is for my anybody doing side hustle. Because it's very symbolic of other things, what just happened, right? I've gotten myself together, dressed appropriately, gas tank full enough to handle the order. Everything I'm supposed to do, I did, right? But then you get out to the place and you wait for the order. And I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking to y'all while I was riding here. I'm talking to y'all as I got here. I'm still doing what I got to do. I'm still doing what I know I have to do, what my missions are. I'm not breaking anything. I'm on my mission. I'm here for y'all with ONYXCON giving this content, right? And I'm waiting on this order. First, it took too long for the order to come out. And I got an explanation of why that happens from one of the folks who load up stuff. They explained it. When other stores in the system drop because they don't have enough people to fulfill orders or they don't have the items on their shelf or whatever the reason is they can't finish the order, they literally look through the system, they go to the next store that has the items, and it don't matter how far away it is, that becomes the new possible store that will deliver and have folks like myself who do courier work come get it from that store and deliver it to your home. So even though it's in a whole nother area, and it's like, you hear me? Because I've had customers say, when I come out and they'll say, yeah, I came all the way from Noonan. Like, you came from Noonan? I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Like, it's like, yeah, I was at that store. And then I had to come all the way out here. And they're like, oh my gosh. Or I was at, like the other day, I'm in Ellenwood. And I'm delivering in other parts of, it's nearby, it's next door, but still, it was a far off part of Decatur I was in. I'm on damn Rainbow Drive. How the hell I go? And I was in country Ellenwood, not in the, if you know anything about those areas, I was in the country of Ellenwood. Like nothing but cow fields, fancy subdivisions, old homes, new homes, whatever you want to say. But there is nowhere near. You understand me? And they're like, "Good gosh, you came all the way out here?" Yeah, because that's what they do to us. They take you wherever, right? And you're so happy to finally get an order. By the time you get it, you don't even care about the gas. No, you just want to get it over with. And that's how they get all of us, just mentally, right? So this order, I loaded up and everything. Okay, I'm thinking I'm good. I noticed that the person who helped me put the stuff in the car says on his computer, on his phone thing, he can't see the order as I'm loading it. He can't see it as I'm scanning it. He scans it, don't scan. I said, what? He said, oh no. I said, what's gonna mean? He said, it may as well be all right because you're able to scan. I said, yeah. I said, it's not telling me that it's canceled, so I'm gonna go ahead and load. So we load the whole order, and then I realized there's a couple of things missing. So I'm going through trying to make sure I ain't missing nothing because I know I scanned everything. You double checking, but you make you feel crazy, but you did what you're supposed to do. Still make you feel crazy. Then I realized, no, I don't even have these names. Like, who are these people? So I asked somebody else, another agent that's coming up. I said, hey, man, and I kind of know him a little better than the other guy. Hey, man, have you seen this happen? He just said, oh no. I said, what? He said, yeah, that's not gonna be good. You could see it trying to give me another order, which never happens once you've taken the order. Once you take an order, it don't give you new offers for orders. Translation, it canceled it, the whole thing. After I done loaded it all in my car. So of course we had to unload everything. And they call themselves trying to give you something for your time. You get some chump change. It's always right under $10, like $8 and some change. I'm like, okay, for an order that's supposed to be like $35 an hour. So I'm feeling some kind of way right now, and I'm feeling real used and abused as usual with this kind of nonsense how they do us. And I just said, man, damn, I just need to get a shopping order. Because if you get a shopping order, you go in the store, you shop for the stuff, you take it. It's simple and plain. But shopping orders, it's rare that a shopping order is going to give you anything in that 25 to 30 something dollar an hour range. You're going to get maybe an hour worth of work, and including the shopping, including the delivery, It might get up to $35, but on average it's gonna be like 20 something. It's gonna be right at 30. It's not bad, but still, it's annoying because you gotta deal with the person. Sometimes they don't have the items. You get some soccer mom that don't never leave the house, sitting up under a damn throw comforter on a cozy couch with the dog on her feet, and she's talking shit in the phone while you trying to tell her, look, lady, there ain't no more of that damn yogurt that you swear you gotta have. Just calm down and realize you ain't getting your fucking yogurt today. And she's being a real Karen about it. You know, them types. That's what we mostly get with that in this app. And sometimes it ain't the Karens, it's everybody else too, you know. Yep, old Beulah be in it too. You know, they be getting all these attitudes, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can read what you want into them names. But you know what I'm saying? It don't matter, you know. Maria can act up sometimes too. Yeah, I've had it come in Spanish too. I was like, God damn, what's wrong? I'm being as nice gonna be, man. Like, what about this you don't understand? They don't have your thing that you gotta have. Just cause you sitting there in your little cozy, warm house with it cold as fuck outside, and I'm out here in the elements getting your shit. You should have got your lazy ass in the goddamn car if it's that important. If you cannot understand other people are shopping for you, you're gonna miss some things. Plus, I'm not the person who's trying to miss it. I want to get the stuff right for you. I'm not trying to not get you what you say you want. But you're not going to sit up here and be a child about it when I tell you, guess what? You're not the only person in the world that really loves that yogurt. So it's gone. Mofos is eating, man. Folks sitting around eating. That's what they doing. They doing that typical American shit. It's that typical, it get cold outside. If somebody got a situation where they don't have to go to work and stuff, they sitting in the house, they playing their games, they on their phone all day, they on the tablet all day, they talking shit on the phone, they, whatever. They are not doing nothing but chilling and eating. So your yogurt is gone. Your yogurt is gone. You understand? Like, chill out. Like, realize it is what it is, right? So you don't be wanting to do them shopping orders because of that reason. But sometimes it's your only choice to get moving and get out there and finish an order in a day. It's like, I gotta get something today, man. Y'all wasting all my time. You're looking at the clock, the hours steady going by. And this is what I hate about the difference between different apps. Because like with the other app I'm now using, the VHO thing, man, if I had done a VHO, the only reason I didn't do it is you I'm working towards it, but eventually a VHO, you get direct deposits, but you get them faster after you've proven yourself as a driver. And I've only had like 5 rides. I forget how many. They don't tell you how many. It's a certain point where, well, I think they do. I forget how many it is. They got numbers for everything. They vary number about every single little thing about your status and your weight in the game with their company. But once you've done a certain amount of orders, and once your score for customer appreciation and how you deliver and where you put packages and all, and that's gonna be my gripe with them because they instead of just the soccer mom on the couch, okay, you're not delivering groceries, you got the soccer mom who's, well, why did he put it at that door and why isn't it 10 feet? I mean, 2 inches closer to the door than it. Are you serious? Are you really trying to get somebody demerits over? You can't be kidding. You gotta be like, I literally had a situation the other day, y'all. I literally had a situation. The goofy ass fool took a picture of the front of their house and then took a picture of the side of their house. It looked like the same damn door, but the way this, and mind you, I be having like 60 something to 70 something packages. They gotta be delivered in what they hope to be uh 5 to 6 hours, sometimes 7. Okay. Like the most I've had so far was something like 77 or something, 70 something orders, 70 something houses. Yeah, like that, right? So anyway, this person was itching about some damn where the damn package is in terms of, to this day I honestly do not understand where they mad that the package was not closer to the door. It's like right in front of the door, or are they mad that it wasn't at the door they prefer? I think it was because it was the door that they preferred. It was like wrong. It said incorrect and correct. And it was 2 pictures. And one was a picture like they shooting out the window of their car toward their house from the curb. And the other one is close up. And I'm saying, and at no point is the app personnel coming in and saying what the customer is frustrated with, like literally explain it instead of showing me this stupid picture. Like the reason they're upset is because it wouldn't have been no explanation because it wouldn't have been anything that was logical if they had explained it. Basically, you got your package. So what are you tricking for? Because there's literally folks out here. I'm not the dude who comes up and throws nobody's package. I'm not the dude who slings your ish into a bush and keeps riding. Like that stuff happens. You know, you see them videos. They got all them little videos of the cameras on folks' houses showing people doing all this illegal, weird stuff. And then in some cases, not illegal, but it's just disrespectful. Like, why would you do somebody's package like that? Like people kicking shit across the lawn and all, just the goofiest stuff. It's out there, right? I'm not that guy. I treat everybody's package like it was mine. I want it to be the way I would want it if I would live in, and especially if I can tell when I get to the house, man, these some cool people, and they know how to treat folk. Like the ones who always got the little snacks outside the door. So I don't even take them half the time 'cause I don't trust them. That it's kind of like trick or treating. I'm like, I don't know you, don't know what's in that water. You know, I've taken it only on occasion when I got used to it. Like I would see the person outside and I read their energy. I'm like, okay, they ain't trying to kill nobody. All right, yeah, I'll take a water. I don't need the other snacks. I ain't eating that canola chips. I don't eat that canola oil BS, and I don't need no sugary nothing. I got my own snacks, but I do appreciate some good water. I mean, if it's water, I'll take some water, whatever, you know, because you might run out of water, and then you be looking like, damn, I gotta stop and buy water. No, I got some water from them nice people. So I'm like, man, what the hell? Like this person up here tripping about that. Like I just started on this app, and y'all trying to get a brother in some mess over nothing. I haven't done anything, but people are real about nothing. This is what I'm saying about this societal, all these different mentalities. There's so many of them that are all ass backwards. Like, yo, I know from my own family members that, yeah, you may have a preference in your own home. Let's say you got a garage and you like your packages to be, you leave your garage over, you prefer them in the garage. You might put it in the app. Hey, drop it in the garage. I try to read that, but in most of these apps, they make the type so small for those little notes that a lot of times when we're on the go and trying to make sure we meeting the deadline of time, that becomes the biggest factor. We just time. So whatever's the quickest, easiest way to drop it, garage, porch, front door, whatever. That's it. Some people don't like front door because they feel like, oh, it's out in the open, thieves come by and steal. Okay, great, I understand that. Some people who don't like the front door don't even have a garage or anything. They got a side door, or a back door, like literally around the back of their house. And then they're the kind of people, some of them got their dogs out. Why you got your dog? I said this in another live. Why the hell are your dogs loose? I don't know your dog. Don't give me that. My dog don't bite bullshit. Your dog got teeth, don't it? The dog can bite. Any dog will bite. Any dog will bite. It's all it. You can't be the mind of the dog. Dog don't like what I eat for breakfast, and he can smell everything. I don't like that kind of cheese on eggs, and I smell it on your bread. Seriously, man, dogs don't give a damn. They don't give a shit about no human stuff. That's you. That's you and your opinion of them. They ain't got nothing to do with them. They are individuals. I do not like seeing loose dogs. And I've been lucky. I've never been bit or anything, but I've had moments where I thought it was about to go down, boy. I mean, they all ran up on me all hard, barking all hard. I had one lunge out a door at me one time. The woman yanked him back just in time because he was seconds away from my face. I'm on some stairs coming up to a porch level. I didn't even see him. He came out of nowhere because she cracked the door to say hi to me and give me a tip. She tried to hand me $5 or whatever. Oh, thanks. And then the damn dog slipped right past her. I was like, roar! And she was like, get over here. And she grabbed him. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I thought of all the nightmares that would have come from it. That dog had bit me. But anyway, you know, it's just ridiculous, man. People are so inconsiderate. They're so self-absorbed. People literally will get so into their house where they're at. They don't even think, like, look, nobody else lives here but your punk ass. The delivery people do not live at your house. So when you say, I would prefer this door or that door or whatever, and they always put it at this other door, I wish they wouldn't. Man, let me tell you something. We get it from it. We damned if we do, we damned if we don't. You put it in front of the house, sometimes it's a problem. When I'm talking for people who don't even specify, they don't specify what door. You put it in front of the house, they still got a problem. You put it on the side of the house, they still got a problem. But I don't live where you live. You know, they may be like, well, I like my packages in the morning at the front door, but in the afternoon, I like them at the garage. Trick, I don't live with you. I'm not your husband, your boyfriend who's going to divorce you if that's how you act. Like, none of this applies to me. Shit. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, none of that. None of that applies to us. They not like us, y'all. They not like us. They are not like us. They ain't got no kind of sense of just general understanding and consideration. The word consideration doesn't even apply to their mind. They're just like my, me. My way or nothing. And no one even knows your way. And no one could ever figure out your way because it changes like the breeze. It's like these weird ass people. And that be the ones. Like I remember I had a lady, this was the funniest mess recently, who was ordering all this very typical Thanksgiving dinner type stuff during Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving. And I'm shopping for her order, and I keep telling her, well, I'm sorry, ma'am, that they don't have that cheese. She's making macaroni and cheese, obviously. She got the elbows, as they say. She got the macaroni, but she ain't got the cheese that she wanted. Some of them was out. And I said, you ain't the only one that wants that extra sharp or whatever. There's a lot of people use that for theirs, and it's gone. Do you hear me? Your stuff is gone. And she's just like, oh my God, I can't believe they don't have that. I'm like, yes, ma'am. It's that holiday rush. I keep saying that, thinking she understands. She finally gets quiet. Well, thank you so much for looking. She don't say nothing else, but she been picky about like 3-4 items. When I get to the house, she comes out to thank me in person, and she's like, I did not realize it was Thanksgiving week. I was like, it was like Monday or Tuesday, y'all. Thursday around the corner. You talking about you didn't realize. Well, man, people ain't present in their own reality, but they always got something to say. That's what I'm talking about. People just got to be realistic about everything you're doing because everything is connected. You got to understand that. If you can understand that, things will flow better for you in general in life. It's hard for all of us, but you can't being oblivious to it will definitely have you in a situation. It's better to just be like, yep. Everything's connected. So the thing you don't want to have to consider, you should. The thing you don't, it's like what I was talking about earlier. Like you should always be, I'll just wear whatever I want, man. Well, just get ready for everything that come with it. That's all. Do what you want to do, but get ready for everything that come with it. Because it's going to be some bullshit. I like sports, but I ain't a sports head like that. I tell y'all all the time, I'm a casual fan. Like when I wear my teams, I try to be selective what day, and I would literally look up who just won what games before I put on a cap that day. Even if I want to, I'm going to still wear my hat if that's what I want to wear that day, right? That's going with the fit. I like this. I want to wear that. I haven't worn that in a while. It makes me feel good to see that color on me today. I'm wearing that, right? But I am going to consider before I walk out the door, okay, where I got to go, who might I be around? Okay, every time I wear something like this in that environment, every damn couch potato husband with walking with his wife, and the wife always looks annoyed, like, you just gotta say something. Why you gotta stop everybody and ask them about their teams and shit? Don't nobody care about that shit. And I'll be with her, because I'm like, you don't have to do it. It's okay. You can keep walking. You can just acknowledge, hey, he had on a so-and-so hat, and just keep walking. And sometimes it's the woman, But I don't mind it when energy is positive. Like some people just want to say, "Oh my gosh, that was such a good game the other night." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't see it, but hey, I saw they won." I leave it at that and I keep it moving. Or I'll be like, "Yeah, what I'm saying, go Falcons." Yeah, we'll see if they ever win any other games this season. But yeah, that was cool. I just keep it moving though, right? Jacksonville, yeah. Oh, you ain't on the bandwagon, are you? Just because of Hunter? No, I liked them before Hunter because I got family down there. Oh, yeah, then you real. That literally happened. That was a woman that asked me that. That's it. Yep. I've been to Jacksonville quite a few times at this point in life. At least 4 or 5, I think. Something like that. 3 for sure. Maybe more, like I said, more like 4 or 5 times. And I got a lot of family down there. So, yeah, I rock with them. Plus, I like the look of the team. I like the colors. I like the Jaguar. I love that Jaguar. I think it looks cool as hell. I always liked it from the minute they created the new team. I said, oh, they look sharp, man. They're going to be like the Falcons. If they lose, they're going to look good doing it. That's what I say about us. I say, hey, win or lose, we were some of the best-looking teams. You can't front on our Steves, baby. We're going to be fresh. You know what I'm saying? The logo is fresh. The fonts are fresh. The Falcon is too fresh. It's just, yeah, we got to look now. We just need a dub. We need a win, damn it. But yeah, y'all, I'm running out of steam over this because I'm waiting on this order and I'm kind of getting annoyed. So I got to get focused and figure out what I got to do for the rest of this day because I got a quota and I'm not reaching it. And it's pissing me off because this is do or die at this point. That's why I'm always telling y'all about subscribing and loving and liking everything because it really has a direct effect on my motivation to push forward and keep bringing this content the way I do it. Because I'm going to do it, but I can only do that much more. Like, we got great numbers right now. The kind of numbers I need to maintain. I did a thing, an assessment of my channel a while back, and it said, yo, if you can keep it at 100,000 views and 300 and something watch time hours, you'll get monetized in at least 2, and I just want to keep it right there at 2 to 3, bump to 3. Let's stay at 2 months. I should be good going into the new year. This is December, January, come February. I want to be officially at the latest, but I really want it to happen now. I want to go in the new year. Yo, I want New Year's Eve to be a celebration of our monetization. Can we do that?